Really?
You can't show a dick. Show all the pussy and boobs you want, but you can't show a penis. So they were like, well, what the fuck are we gonna do? Who wants to watch like a woman like not like fuck a blurry thing on camera? Because they censored penises and shit. So they started drawing tentacles because it was in their eyes, I guess, the closest thing to like the shape, a similar shape.
Damn, that's some like deep. Where'd you learn that?
Like some sort of like stupid like radio talk show morning.
That's fascinating.
Isn't that? I thought it was kind of interesting.
Free the people, free the markets. Decentralize now. Season 2.
You want to get going? You want to start recording?
Yep, I'm good whenever you are.
Cool. Actually, if you don't mind, I actually really just wanted to start this episode out.
Yeah, go ahead.
By just saying that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yeah, I don't. We're stopping to saying it, so it's good to keep reminding people for sure.
It definitely is. I've noticed it falling off. You know, like there's not as many memes and stuff. So I always try and sneak it in stuff anywhere I can.
It's good maybe to like teach your kids to say it like 10 times before they go to bed.
Like a fucking what's that fucking shit the Catholics do?
Or like, you know, like I guess the Muslims in the middle of the day they have to pray towards Mecca. Like, hold on, 1 o'clock, for my religion, I have to say Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself to like 5 strangers.
Fucking go Mormon with it. Oh, hello? Hi, sir. Do you have a few moments to talk about how Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself?
I'd love that, dude.
I'd be like, fuck yeah, I do. Come on in.
Is there a topic or anything you want to talk about?
I definitely want to. I would definitely want to hit on Iran tonight.
Holy shit! Well, while we're doing this, yeah, I mean, unless you've been living on a fucking rock, so Donald Trump, like, has done the strangest shit in the past 24 hours. Like, I have no fucking clue. Because typically when you see things going on, you understand the narratives. You're like, this is for this, or this is for that. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But he okayed a missile strike in Iraq and just fucking terminated. He just yeeted one of the most important military commanders of Iran, Soleimani. Which I think it's a bad move. I think it's interesting that Soleimani made all these statements how the American military presence was irrelevant. Well, you say that, but you're not saying that anymore. So yeah, Donald Trump has allowed for this missile strike against Soleimani. I have no fucking clue as to why. Do you?
I have no idea because there was also a fucking like a news report, fucking an announcement he made that we sent troops to Iran to prevent a war, not start one, and then he fucking fucking blows the dude off the face of the earth.
Oh my god!
Have you seen that interview?
Oh yeah. Or there's also, I think he was criticizing Obama for his treatment of and doing the same shit. I've read a lot of stuff on the web about how this isn't Trump. Trump has just kind of given up at this point. He's so beaten down. He's so tired that at the moment he's just going with the system.
Just get off his fucking dick. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna say like it's so funny, man. Like, we talked a little bit before the show, and it was funny because you were like, "Man, what the fuck is Trump doing?" And I was like, "Let's save it for the podcast." I am also I've also changed my tune a little bit on this. So.
Well, let me. It's an insult to Trump. Like he's given up. He's just like, yeah, whatever. You Jews want to bomb Iran? Fuck it. Push the button. Show me the button. He's not the reformer that he intended on being. And I think the main point that we were talking about before the podcast was this. We would do a little bit of Trump posting. We would say shit like, did you know that Donald Trump is the only president of our lifetime not to start a new war?
I know. It's like I feel like my best friend slept with my girlfriend or something. Like I'm so portrayed Like, dude, I stuck my fucking neck out for you so many times. So many times my pissed off family members and been like, yeah, but he's also. Now I have to look them in the face and be like, yeah, sorry. Like, fucking dude's a piece of shit.
God.
Totally fucking up. I've been a little upset with the president. Just as soon as all this shit started fucking happening, honestly, as soon as he started like shipping fucking troops to fucking Saudi Arabia and all this, like, I just was like, this has fucking stank all over it, you know. He's not a politician, and
No.
these are types of things that a politician would be maybe more. I'm not sticking up for politicians at all; they're all fucking crooks. I'm just saying, you know, maybe this is why we don't want someone that's not necessarily a politician in the White House. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't know how to fucking deal with the fucking Middle East. This dude has no fucking idea what to do in fucking Iran and Iraq and Saudi Arabia and fucking Turkey and Syria. He doesn't know what the fuck to do. He has no fucking idea. He's like, Turkey, what's for dinner?
I guess, you know, one said Soleimani, no love lost. Like, fuck this guy. Fuck Soleimani. But at the same time, I think he does know what to do. We need to just get out of there. We need to tell these people to go fuck off and deal with their own problems.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that we keep coming back to this, but do you think Israel's involved? They've been doing everything they can to get us to go to war with Iran. They keep pounding that drum.
You know I think they're fucking involved.
Exactly.
Oh, I fucking spilt my drink. Fucking Israel did it. Fuck, dude, they're involved in everything. And I mean, if you think about it, dude, it all does come back around to that fucking great state of Israel. You know what I mean?
Well, there's been some articles online as well going on about how a whole bunch of new oil fields were found in Iran. Do you buy that connection too?
Well, like they're fucking like ancient artifacts. We're digging in the backyard, found a fucking oil field. Fucking everything was just already there. There's people working and shit. We had no idea. Fuck you, just like just find a fucking oil field.
Oh, there it was. Yeah. I know. I didn't know what that was the whole time.
It's like when they found Osama bin Laden and they were like, "Oh, dude's just been chilling in his house this whole time. Our bad."
He's just been in his entire palace that says, "Hey, I'm here."
Got a big fucking flashing sign out front. Open for business. Osama is in. It's so stupid. And then, like, do you remember that? Do you remember when they found him? They're like, oh, yeah, it turns out he's not in the desert. He was in his fucking house. And then they were like, oh, so his fucking mansion, his giant mansion, was surrounded by opium fields and marijuana. Like, the fuck does that have to do with anything? That should have made him easier to find, if anything. Fucking idiots.
Did they try to make that like an anti-drug thing? Like,
probably,
you smoke marijuana?
I'm imagining,
you know who also
yes.
smoke some marijuana? Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure, like, I'm sure it was some sort of, like, you know, it was just like they had to fucking, oh, this dude's doing opium and pot. No wonder he's a fucking terrorist. You know what I mean? Like, this is so fucking ridiculous, dude. Like, oh, the CIA agent we trained in the 80s. I mean, Osama bin Laden. Fuck.
Hey guys, so for some reason our audio cut off right here, and we lost about 20 minutes of us talking about Iran. So here is a recording we did at the very end of last year, kind of covering Elsagate and some of the other, you know, topics, Pizzagate and stuff like that we've been talking about for a while. So enjoy this episode. We'll have more on Iran and the impeachment next week.
Yeah, we can do that. I had some, do you want to jump right into Elsagate, or do you want to talk about some other stuff first?
Well, I want to talk about Elsagate first, and then give a take on it, and then, you know, we can just kind of take it from there.
I have a feeling we're going to talk about it the whole time. I feel if we start talking about it, it's going to be the whole episode. It's some scary fucking shit.
Let me get this point out. So, just in brief, just in summary, Elsagate is this idea. We may talk about it later on in another episode or whatever. It's this series of videos on YouTube Kids, that app, that basically has cracked an algorithm, so it's getting through all of the censors, all the filters on YouTube Kids app, and it's showing really inappropriate content, really disturbing content into the hands of children. And there are all kinds of really disgusting and just creepy, weird themes that aren't pornographic per se, but they're just very strange. They're
Highly
very weird,
suggestive. Highly suggestive.
highly suggestive, and violence. Basically showing the abduction of children. So there's no way it's an accident, even if some of this content was created by AI. But most of this content was, or some of this content at least, is live action. So it's intentionally created to put these strange themes in front of children. And like you said, we can go on a rant. One thing I want to say is this: I've done a lot of research. I know you've done a lot of research on this, and I won't speak for you, but some of it really creeps me out after the fact. Have you felt that experience before?
Dude, it's so weird you said that because there's and maybe this is how it's meant to be taken. There's definitely like images I've seen watching, some of that shit. There's images I've seen that when I think about them back in my head, they're almost way more violent than they actually were in the video, and I wonder if that's not, that's not kind of the intentional purpose a little bit.
Well, that's exactly what I'm about to say. Is that what if it's not just for kids? Like, maybe it's not good for us to watch it either. Like, we're not immune to this shit. You know what I mean? There's a real danger when you go hunting for this stuff, and if you're watching like 40 hours of Elsagate videos, that could have a toll on you as well.
Oh, absolutely. No, I definitely was careful about how much I watched at a time and shit, because like you'll get lost in it, and I don't want to get too far away from that, because I think that it's obviously subliminal messaging. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And what really creeped me out when I started looking into this, I think more than anything else, the creepiest thing to me is just like the themes of all there's so many channels. There's so many channels, and the themes are all very similar. They all have the same things going on in their channel. Spiders are important. Red, blue, green, yellow, pink. Those colors are important. Spider-Man is in all of them. Enucleation, removing the eye, spiders. Like, they all have those things in them. Injections, abortions. Like, those are all things that are consistently in each channel. It's reoccurring constantly. Peeing on each other, drinking urine. That seems to be a really common theme for some reason.
No, absolutely. It's repeated, and it's definitely intentional. And I think that there's a danger. I don't hear people talking about this. I hear people saying, "Hey, get it away from kids. Get it away from kids." But I think people also need to say, "Hey, listen, you as an adult don't need to watch this shit either. Like, it will have an effect on you. It will have a toll." I was holding my son, trying to put him to bed, and for whatever reason, I was getting creeped out, because I had Elsagate thoughts in my head. You know what I mean? And I was just so terrified that these people were after my child. It wasn't healthy. You know what I mean? So it's good to research. It's good to be proactive. It's good to share this information. But the actual content, and a lot of it, like, there's nothing in there you need to see after like 5 minutes. It's like, you've seen it, I get it, but you don't need to sit on autoplay just watching hours and hours of this shit, because it will have a toll on you.
It'll fuck you up.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's this one, and like I still like it still comes in my head randomly. Like I don't know why this one's burned into me, and it wasn't even like one of the cartoon ones or something. It was like an actual dude, and he's like looking at the camera and like laughing, like with this like really fake but hysterical laugh, and it's like a cake, and the cake is all different colors.
Oh yeah,
just swirled together, and he just keeps smashing his face into the cake, eating it, and then looking back at the camera and laughing. And like that image, like that one, every time I think of that, like it becomes more and more violent the more I think of it. Like that one really fucked with my head. The one with like the babies, this is a reoccurring one too. Like, it'll be a baby in the background. Sometimes they're crying. They almost always have their arms up. And then it'll be 5 heads, and the 5 heads pretty much just bounce up and down in the front of the screen. and they're those colors: blue, red, green, yellow, pink. And in the one particular one I saw, it was one of the first ones I saw, so maybe that's why it sticks out in my head more. It just like, it starts playing this really corny, like cheesy, creepy, like kind of off-tune music, and the baby's in the background, like it's like a fake baby voice saying all this weird stuff. Hey, hey, ooh, dancing, just weird shit. And then it's like out of nowhere, it's like, your trigger word is Transformers. Your trigger word is Transformers. Like, and it just says that like over and over again a few times, and then just goes back to this like creepy, fake dancing baby with like bouncing Spider-Man heads. Like, I mean, it sounds so stupid when you describe it, but like, I hope
when you
if
see
you're
it's
listening
terrifying.
to this, you get that it's creepy, because I mean, it's fucking creepy, man. I'm an adult man, and I watched that like days ago, and I can't get it out of my head. It's creepy as fuck.
It's terrifying.
And as you said, like you said, you're putting your kid to sleep, and you started because like I totally know that feeling. I mean, as a parent, you see this stuff and you realize like there's people that are going to be coming after my kid. It's a scary realization. There's people out there that want to do harm to my child.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. And when you see it and it's like millions of views. It's not like some weird video somebody got through. Millions of children just, and I understand as a parent, you come home, you've worked all day, you're tired. You give your kid the tablet and here, just watch Bugs Bunny. It's YouTube Kids app. Everything on there is fine. And then the kid just starts, touching the colors. And I want to see the colors. I want to see the cool characters. And next thing you know, they have watched hours of this stuff.
It's
sad.
It's weird too. Is remember the that demon thing? Remember that demon thing that was going around on YouTube for a while?
Oh, Momo.
Yeah, telling kids to kill themselves and shit.
Yep.
Like, that was on YouTube Kids.
Exactly.
I mean, there's way to get violent, inappropriate content through that. And there were videos on there I saw of like, they use kids a lot, like live action kids, like live actors, whatever, kids, and like these kids were giving each other injections. They were like playing doctor, but like violently doing an abortion, like cutting like the boy was the doctor, and he was just like violently cutting the girl open and like ripping a baby out. I mean, nothing you would want a child watching, and then to think like there's children acting that out while an adult films it is, it's sickening.
You think you've heard it all? You haven't heard shit. Stick around for more Decentralize Now.
When we started talking about this like episodes ago, when we started doing like Pizzagate and shit, remember I was like, oh, I don't really know much about it. I haven't read much about that. And then like I'm so far down the wormhole, dude. Like I'm becoming like fucking like scared. like
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh for
it's,
sure.
Just like what I've learned in such a short amount of time is just, it's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. It's disheartening, but you can at least try to. Let me get your take on this, man. I don't know if the internet is a place for children. Like, we're trying to create a safe space for kids online. We'll monitor it. We'll curate the. I don't think kids belong on the internet at all. Just don't let your kids go on the internet. There's nothing for them. Maybe at the library to do a school project. But they don't need to be on these platforms, and that might make your kid like the awkward, weird kid that doesn't go on the internet. But as a millennial, my boomer parents, and I'm standing up for them. They didn't understand the internet.
No.
They had no idea what it was. It was like, oh, you can talk to people through the machine telepathically. You just type a little message and boom, it's over there. That's the fucking internet to them. They have no clue what it is. So I wasn't supervised, and I think it was damaging to me as a person. I think it was damaging to our generation, just large amounts of time unsupervised on the internet, on the information highway. And I don't think it's a place for children. I don't think it will ever be. I think these people are so sick and twisted. They will always find a way to get this content out. And I think it's just the best practice to say, hey, until you're like 16, no internet.
I mean, it's definitely a a parent's decision without a doubt. But I mean,
Right.
I agree with you, dude. Like, some people just give their, like you said, they just give their kids the tablet. Here you go, just leave me alone, do something. And I get it, like you said, you're tired, you got other shit to do, clean the fucking house and shit. Um, but like, I would, like, personally, I would not let my child on the internet. I mean, she's not old enough to know any of that or do any of that anyway. But definitely not as a small child is that going to happen, because I agree, I don't think it's a place for kids like that. And it's kind of weird to hear you say, like, that you feel like it was damaging to you, because I've definitely heard you say the opposite. Like, without the internet and social media, you wouldn't have had, like, we wouldn't have an outlet
Fair
for our
enough.
voice and shit. So it's a little awkward to hear you say that a little bit, because I kind of feel like I've always kind of taken the other stance, that the internet's kind of a cesspool of fucking shit and horrible opinions and people just yelling at each other. And I'm not going to act like I don't go on the fucking internet and scream at people. Like, I'm guilty of that myself. I'm not throwing
Sure.
any stones. I'm just saying, there's so much out there. There's so much evil out there. If you want to find it, you can find fucked up shit on the fucking internet, and there's going to be bad people out there that tend to do bad things. And I feel like the internet gives them more of a
More power.
more of a selection, more people to choose from, so to speak, I guess. But it's definitely it's definitely a creepy place. And the more and more they do these kind of restrictions to try and make the internet safer, the more you're going to see this, like, Elsagate shit start coming out, because they're going to figure out ways around the filters and the blocks, and they're going to make it seem innocent and wholehearted, but with a fucking sinister, fucked up message. You know what I mean? They're always going to get around it. It's always going to be a place where evil people do bad stuff.
I don't disagree with what you said. And you're right. We've had that debate, and I've kind of stood up for the internet. And I mean, I think it's definitely a double-edged sword for sure. It has, I mean, as a parent, I wouldn't know what Elsagate was without the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
But then again, without the internet, there wouldn't be Elsagate. So, I guess it's a double-edged thing. But I think if you want to go online by the age of like 16 or 18, at that point, you're more of a person. You're still impressionable for sure, but I wouldn't have as much of a problem. But at the age of like 6 or 7, you don't need to be on there.
No, I totally agree with that. Yeah, I'm right there with you on that. No, I don't believe someone that young needs to be on the fucking internet. I mean,
And dude, let me get your opinion on this, because it's like I'm challenging my libertarianism. I'm like, China doesn't have this problem. They've got a lot of problems in China.
Well, I was gonna
They don't have this problem.
I was gonna ask you that if that was maybe a good, like, a good argument for censorship on the fucking internet. Like, I mean, do you say it's all okay, or do you fucking start picking and choosing? Because once you pick and choose shit that's not okay,
Yep.
It all falls down, But I mean, I definitely think we can all agree pedophilia, sex trade,
It's pretty
brainwashing
fucked up.
kids is probably not okay on the fucking internet. I think we can all agree with that.
Or anywhere. If anything could make me question it, it's this. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. What Pizzagate has revealed to us is that a lot of these people are in the government.
True that.
There's a the Pizzagate people are definitely in the government, a lot of that. But there's a lot of belief that the Elsagate videos are done by officials from Russia or Ukraine, basically trying to like wipe out the next generation, make them just stupid, just totally like autistic, stupid. And I'm probably autistic myself. If you're autistic, I don't mean to offend you, but just make people really fucked up, give them lots of problems, and just kind of cripple the United States from within. And their videos will show you of former KGB agents, after the wall fell, coming to the United States and saying, here's the kind of things that we would do. Our KGB agents, the CIA does the same thing to other countries, but they would say, okay, well, the United States has all this freedom, relatively speaking, all this democracy, all these different fringe groups. What we want to do is infiltrate the fringe groups and try to do like a judo move. Like if your opponent is coming at you, instead of resisting him, you just give him more power, so he goes flying through the wall. So if there's a political movement in the United States that's going to the right, well, let's just back it with all of our might, so it gets so far and so ludicrous that it causes problems within the system. And if there are all these groups going in all these different directions and they all become really radical and really powerful, you have a societal problem. That's exactly what we want. We don't want a united country as our enemy. We want all these powerful fringe groups to be going in all sorts of different directions, so the country just splits apart. And having said that, it was really interesting that Adam Kokesh, who wants to, just get rid of the federal government, he had his show Adam versus the Man on RT, or Russia Today. And it made me think of that. Like, the Russians are like, oh, cool, you want to decentralize the American federal government? Yeah, we'll give you a platform. Great, here's your show. Go do it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that the connection is there's a connectivity and people in government. So I don't think the solution is just, well, let the government take care of it because the government is good and they'll fight the bad guys. The people who are attracted to power will then be attracted to positions in government because they'll want that power, and then we'll be all at square one. I think that the solution is good parenting. Give a shit about your kids. And I understand, like, listen, if you're listening to this, I totally get it. You're tired. I can't imagine being a single parent. My ass is beat up, and I've got an amazing spouse who does more than enough, and we're still tired. Someone trying to do it single, I can't even imagine it, let alone with like 2 or 3 kids. Holy shit.
Probably more than one job, too. Shit, man. You can't fucking survive on one job. Fucking broke as shit.
For yourself, yeah, let alone extra people.
Are you enjoying the podcast? Just kidding. We know you are, and you're welcome. You're listening to Decentralize now.
Let me ask you this, too. I've heard of an interesting theory. So there are situations where families are not able to provide for their children, whether it's a safe home or meals or whatever. So DHS comes in and removes the children and puts them in foster homes. Now, first off, some foster parents are probably great, wonderful people who provide wonderful services. Some of them are dirtbags. But there's a strategy that certain state governments are taking where instead of giving money to foster parents, because foster parents receive money, they don't do it for free. So instead of giving money to foster parents, let's give money to the parents of the children who are struggling. So if you have 2 kids and you're a single mom, we'll give you like $1,200 a month. And it's called family preservation. Let's try to preserve the family so the children get to live with their biological parents rather than send them off to the boarding home or the foster home. Now,
I think that's
go ahead.
I think that's much better, just for the sole fact that Child Protective Services is a fucking sham. That's a fucking shithole of a fucking organization. If you can keep them out of it and keep the kid in the house with the parents, then absolutely do that. Because, I mean, Child Protective Service, CPS, is always getting caught up in some fucked up shit, man. Always getting caught, like, selling kids. Like, I mean, you fucking keep up with any of that shit?
Some of it, man, and it's just like...
They don't have... They constantly get caught for fucking making up fucking... They'll make up scenarios that didn't happen. They've been caught, like pretty much brainwashing small children into thinking their parents abused them when they didn't. They get caught in scams all the time where they're taking kids from happy families for bullshit reasons, and they're selling them to they're basically selling them to fucking foster care and shit. Because, like you said, those families are getting money. They're getting it's fucked up, dude. They're always getting caught up in these fucked up scams, man. Child Protective Services fucking sucks. Like, my wife interned doing that. She got into
Oh, really?
justice. Yeah, she went to school for justice. She ended up interning doing in child protective services. Anyway, she saw some of the most horrible stuff she's ever seen on both sides. You know, both what people were doing to kids and what was being done in the place that she was at. So, I mean, it's sorry to go on such a rant there,
You're
but
good,
no,
man.
I think that's great. So that money's gonna go somewhere anyway. Why not give it to the fucking parents and help them out? Why
Exactly.
why don't we fucking do shit like that? How come if you come from if you're two people and you have a kid and you need help but you both work, they'll basically tell you to fuck yourself. You guys make enough money. But
Exactly.
they don't care where your money goes. They don't care what bills you have to pay, medical bills and shit like that. They don't give a fuck about you. They just see the money coming in before taxes, by the way, and then they just go,
Mhm.
"Oh, you're good." But like one of us could literally, like this literally happened to us when our kid was born. We needed help. We asked for help, and they were like, "No." And they actually told my wife, well, they didn't tell her to quit, but they're like, if one of you wasn't working, like they implied it very heavily, like one of you guys should
Wink,
quit your
wink, nudge,
job.
nudge.
Yeah, one of you guys should quit your job, basically, and then we'll give you as much money as you want. But because we were both working people that just didn't quite make enough and had outrageous medical bills because of what happened, they didn't care about us. You know what I mean?
It's
Like
a fucked up situation.
we live in a society that really seems to deem like a happy household or like a solid family as not good. I don't know if that
Oh,
makes
they're
any
absolutely
sense.
gunning it down.
You know what I mean? Like just having a normal family with a father, a mother, and a kid is like it's like you're a monster for thinking that's okay. I don't know. It's just what it seems like to me.
I agree wholeheartedly. There's a guy here in the state that I live whose child was taken away from him, and he went out and protested it. He had a sign that said, "Children need both parents," and people were like yelling at him, like they've been so brainwashed to think that that's like a racist thing to say.
Yeah. Oh, what? So
It's
a person
racist.
can't do it by themselves? Like, I didn't say that, but obviously, I mean, that's so stupid to think that that's an offensive thing to say. Statistically, that holds true. I mean, it's a factual statement.
It is, and I understand the whole female lib thing, but it's like if you are, I'm a single woman. I don't need a man. I can raise this child on my own. That's fine. But that child wants to know where he or she came from. So if you are denying that child the right to live with the father, you're abusing that child. Listen, if the father is abusive emotionally, physically, or whatever, yeah, absolutely, you need to get out, and we need to help you get out. But if you are instigating it because I don't know, married life just isn't for me, or he doesn't do it for me anymore, it's no longer about you. It's no longer about you and your
Yeah,
goals and your career.
exactly.
It's about that child. So you're stop making a fucking virtue signal, a statement, a fashion statement about how you decided to be a single mom. Unnecessarily. Like,
Well, I mean, it makes sense too.
do
I
for the
mean,
kids.
think about a child that has two parents. Typically, I think typically today one parent is probably working most of the time. So there's always one parent home with the child. If you're one person trying to do it yourself and you have to work 2 and 3 jobs, how much time are you really getting to spend with your kid? That kid's getting put around with all sorts of different people. They never have a solid role model, and you're not there enough to be that for them all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
It makes sense that having two people, like two consistent people taking care of a child, would be much better and healthier.
The idea.
You know?
We do daycare in my family. We just have to,
Well, I
and
mean, we do that
I'm
too.
doing what
I
I
mean,
can. We're paying
I'm
off a lot
not
of yeah.
saying that. I don't mean it like that.
As long
I
as when
didn't
the
mean it like
child comes
people that
home,
do what?
there's well, as long as when the child comes, because it eats me up that my child. I hate dropping him off. I drop him off, and I look at my boy, and he looks at me like he's confused, and then I have to leave the daycare, and it rips me up. So, like the past 2 days, my wife was working, and I wasn't. I could have dropped him off the daycare, but I was like, "Fuck that, man! I'm not gonna do that." I'm not gonna drop him off when it's serious so I can go do what? Go play Dungeons and Dragons or something? No, fuck that. Let's go play with some Legos. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna fucking do that. It rips me up, and it's hard. And I grumble when it's 3 in the morning and I can't let him go to sleep, or when he, shit all over a new shirt. But it's amazing, and I can't. When I have to drop him off, when I have to leave him like that, it sucks.
Yeah, I'm luckily, it's when she's being watched, it's someone in the family usually, or somebody
That's awesome.
close to us, so it's not a big deal. We haven't had to go to like daycare. That fucking, oh my god, dude, like that day's coming soon.
It sucks.
And it's I'm fucking terrified. I'm terrified of
Oh,
it.
I've been looking at the center. I'm looking at the people. I'm like, who are you working with? Are you with the Russian mob or something? You know what I mean? I'm checking him out when he comes home. He seems happy. He doesn't seem distressed or anything. They seem like really nice people. They've actually taught me a lot of things. So it seems like he's in a good place. But,
Yeah.
I'm hoping I can just make some more money, keep paying off these bills, and I'd love for my wife to just be able to come home and just watch them. That'd be great.
That's a sexist thing to say. Have your wife
Did I
stay
do the bank
home
manager bit?
Have your wife stay home all the time and watch the kid. What is this?
I'm not going to raise my kids. I'm going to go to Kodak, be a manager.
Congratulations, Karen. Here's your locker. That's what you said.
It was said that
so
before.
funny.
Congratulations, Karen. You abetted 6,000 years of evolution. Here's your locker. You get a coffee break.
Oh, the show was fucking great. I was listening to that episode the other day. That shit's funny as fuck.
You're currently listening to the best podcast in the whole fucking universe.
Decentralize now.
I got one more thing I want to say. You want to do a topic for yourself?
Oh, I was gonna talk about that weird shit that fucking happened on Facebook the other day.
Dude, I'm down. Yeah, why don't you lead into it?
So I put a lot of like pretty harsh statements about a lot of different topics on my fucking Facebook page. Like I've been pretty careless, man. I've been throwing it all out there. And I realize that now that maybe I should calm the fuck down a little bit. I'm an outspoken person, and I've always been the type of person that I'll tell you what the fuck I think about things. If you fucking ask me, I'll tell you. So the other day, and it was like bad timing too. It was just really weird timing. So I'm literally on like CIA.gov, like looking at declassified documents, researching the finders in Elsagate, like just fucking so deep in the rabbit hole, just like reading this shit. Just like I'm already paranoid. I'm already freaking out. I'm like bouncing between like my phone and my laptop, like looking this shit up, watching like fucking Elsagate videos and fucking reading shit. Like, oh man, just totally being careless. And all of a sudden, I get this fucking message.
Ba-ding.
Yeah, ding, on fucking Facebook. And it's not a friend or anything like that. And my page was set to public at the time. So I get this weird message. Ding. Hey, I saw some stuff you had put on. I won't say the page because I don't know if he wants me to. I don't even care, but. On this particular page you're on, I saw some stuff you said, some comments, and I thought it was really great, man. You got do you have a page or anything like that? I could like or send a friend request to, which is like a weird thing to say because it's Facebook and my page is fucking public, so they had to fucking go to my fucking page, to message me and shit. So it was just kind of like weird. And I just kind of ignored it, but like I was like, that's whatever. I've gotten messages before and I ignore it, but like this one was just awkward to me. So I clicked on the profile. There's like nobody. There's like no post. There's nothing. It was just like the date it was created, and then a picture of like a guy and a woman and a dog, and that was like also the set to like the cover photo. So it's like nothing on this fucking page, and it was just really fucking creepy. I think I messaged you about it not too long after it happened. Like, hey, do you know this person? You've seen this or whatever? And you went on their fucking page too, didn't you? You looked it up.
Yeah, well, I was like, well, who was the person? And then you sent it to me, and I was like, what can I find out about this person? Because she'd mentioned a mutual friend that you and I have, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what? And it seemed fishy, like you said, like asking, hey, do you have a page that I totally won't follow and send to the FBI? It was a weird kind of vibe. So on her picture, like because her Facebook was essentially all private, but on her picture,
I lost you. Hold on, I lost you.
Click the picture.
You there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I lost you for a second. You said
Okay.
on her
I'll
picture.
that. So I was able to go into her picture and I could find who had liked it. So there were 55 people, if I remember correctly. And I'm able to go, okay, well, who does she know? And I'm just randomly selecting people, and I sent them to youth via Messenger. And some of these people, like one guy was claiming to be, he was a clean-cut Asian gentleman claiming to be, a cybersecurity analyst for the U.S. Army. Just really like, back people saying I back the blue, people in the military, people in the Coast Guard, people in the Army. So she's got a whole bunch of Army friends, and all of a sudden she's on our friend's profile, which isn't very military and police friendly, to say the least, saying, hey, I saw you over there, and I like what you post. Do you have a page? And then not too long later, then she finds our podcast and then just likes everything.
Yeah, just starts going through the podcast, liking
She's just scrolling everything. And it was kind of like, hey, I'm watching. And I think there's the FBI, but I think it might just be like a I back the blue person who sees your shit and got really pissed off and is I am going to remove you from this. I don't want to see these posts. Because not too long in the future, and I'll let you finish telling the story, you got reported, isn't it right?
I got reported a few times recently for a couple different things, yeah.
I think they're trying to take down your page.
I think so too, man. And then was it last night, remember? I still can't from my personal page. I often post things to the podcast page. Just share the page, boom, throw it up there. I can't do it. Every time I try, I get could not post a timeline. This message could not be posted to this timeline. That's the error message I get. And when I go to try and invite people, like, cause it'll always tell you, like, hey, these people like stuff on your page. Do you want to send them an invite, to actually like the page? And when I click that, it says, oh, something went wrong. So like I have this weird kind of randomly limited things I can do. Like I can't do all the stuff I used to do. I got those fucking weird messages. And then it was something else I had put up that got banned recently. Let me see. I can't remember what it was though.
Did it have to do with like dead cops and stuff?
No. One of the things that got fucking reported was it was in Longwood Projects posted up with my AK because a black woman didn't feel safe moving out to the things that had transpired there. The police were forced to escort her out. She felt fear for her safety and called me. And it's this guy. He's sitting on top of his car with a bulletproof vest and an AK. And I said, yeah, dude, fuck that blue line shit. This is what heroes look like. And it fucking got reported and taken down.
Dude, of all the shit that you say, that is not something to be reported.
That's pretty PC for me, bro. I say a lot worse shit. I don't know. I just need to get the fuck off there for a while. I'm not accepting friend requests anymore. I've been kind of going through my friends and trying to fucking weed some people out. Because I usually go on there and try and comment and make people... That's like my main goal, is just try and make people laugh and shit like that. And hopefully that'll lead them to the podcast. But I mean, I do fucking speak my mind about a lot of issues on there. And a lot of the fucked up things I say, there's a lot of people that it's kind of funny because I see them posting, talking shit too. So I don't know. Now I'm starting to think like, oh man, are they talking shit just to lure me in? Like, are these fucking real accounts? I don't know, dude. It's just like I'm kind of in a weird headspace. Been freaked out by it.
They'll do it, man. You know what I mean? The FBI, that's their job. Their job is to infiltrate stuff. And to think that the libertarian community, or the gun rights community, the boogie boys community, that's not going to be infiltrated by the FBI. Of course it is. Like, if you're part of a group that says, "Hey, let's get guns and try to overtake the federal government," and the FBI isn't going to notice that, like, they're blatantly talking about it on Facebook. The FBI is going to be all up in that. They're not going to go, "Hey, well, they have a right to free speech." No, they're just going to try to co-opt it. And we talked about this before. There were a lot of people on the Facebook page saying things like, "Don't vote in the two-party system. If you really want to make change, you'll commit an act of violence." And fuck that shit. When someone says that stuff, I say, "Have a great day, FBI. See you later." You know what I mean? Because that's what that shit is. No one talks like that. No one talks like that.
You think all those? You think all the? I mean, definitely not all of them, but like it's so weird to hear how many people are just like, yeah, I don't vote. Voting doesn't do anything. Voting doesn't change anything. And I'm like, aren't you allowing yourself to be controlled twice? Once by the people that are voting, and then two by the people they put in power that are going to tell you all what to do. You're literally allowing them. You're allowing not only a fucking political figure to have power over you, but you're letting all the people you don't like choose that person. Like, it just seems so crazy to me. I don't get the not voting thing. Even if it's you don't think it does anything, go vote for Batman. Take a vote away from the Republicans or the Democrats or something.
I think we should come up with
you think a lot of those people are just pushing an agenda? You think they're legit, or do you think they're fake accounts?
I think there's two purposes. Absolutely. I mean, a lot of these profiles, like, it'll be like Honk Honkler, and it'll be like the cartoon doggy with the Joker makeup. And these are symbols that people will be attracted to, and they'll just click. Oh, maybe they'll share some memes or whatever. But these are just fake FBI profiles to get in those timelines. They want to see what you're posting. They want to see what you're doing, what you're talking about. And because a lot of these, mass shooters will talk shit on Facebook before they do it. They'll say, "Hey, go in here to do this thing." So they want to get a heads up on it, thinking you're the next one, or at least you fit the profile. So yeah, I think there's some, prevention. I think to dissuade the movement, dude, it'd really stick it to them. Don't vote. That'll really change things, bro. Voting is whack. Putting that meme out there, which is retarded.
He's like a fucking surfer guy.
Yeah.
Don't vote, bro.
Don't vote, bro.
Go surf
Bad
and don't
vote. And then, finally, I think there is, okay, listen, there are some people, they're already on the edge. Let's just weed them out now. Let's just egg them on and then nab them before they do something really bad. So let's go on and get this Facebook user to admit to an act of violence or say something violent, nab them, and then just completely remove the problem so we won't have to deal with it. If I was a government, those were some things I'd do. And it doesn't cost you anything, really. You just get a Facebook profile, put a picture of a dog with Joker face paint on, and then you'll get friend requests from legitimate people being like, "Oh, you know the same meme words that I do. We should be friends." And then you're on the Facebook profile, and yeah, now you're being surveilled. And you asked it to be surveilled.
It's true, too. It's like, I forgot my train of thought. I forgot what I was going with that. I was gonna say, I guess they get on there and they try and make the criminals. They go in there and they say, "Let's make a criminal today. Let's see how far we can push them."
Yeah, and from their perspective, it's probably like, "Hey, I'd rather get you to say something and nab you than wait for you to do it and nab you then." I'm not defending it, but just that's what I think the thought process.
Well,
we should have a skit of an FBI agents And then one just like jumps in the room and is like, Johnson, I've got some bad news. No, Agent Smith, it can't be. It is. The Libertarians, they're not voting. They're not voting? Don't they know that will ruin everything? That will get rid of the government.
Well, I know it's like, what are you gonna do? Convince every single person in the fucking country not to vote?
If we just don't vote, then the government will go away. Things retarded people say, number one.
Well, the count is in. Let's see who our new president is going to be. Oh my God, there's no numbers. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Fucking shit just starts blowing up. Fucking dude's head explodes. He's just like, oh my God.
Bro, all we gotta do is convince 1 billion people at the same time not to vote. That's the way forward, man.
I don't. It's a lot of those like self-proclaimed anarchist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're purity spiralers. They just, I'm so anarchist that and, you know, oh, if you go vote, you're participating in a government system, so therefore you're giving it legitimacy. And these people are just like waste my fucking time.
Free the people, free the markets. Decentralize now.
What do you think of the raising the smoking age to 21? Effective January 1st, you gotta be 21 to buy cigarettes, vaping, or nicotine products.
I hate that shit. I hate what they did to the Jew. What they're doing to tobacco is terrible. They're raising taxes on it. You know, maybe it'll keep. I mean, I don't even want to go down that path. Well, maybe it'll be fun. Nah, I just fucking.
You gotta be 21, dude. That's some fucking bullshit. They just made so many criminals. They just achieved a reason to pull over anybody between 18 and 21 for having something in their hand that looks like a cigarette.
What are you? What's the penalty going to be? Like, is it just for buying it at a store, or like, is it going to be criminalized to have cigarettes?
When I was like fucking 17, it was like fucking 2 weeks before my fucking 18th birthday. I got pulled over and had cigarettes on me, and they gave me a possession of tobacco under 18.
Damn.
Yeah, fucking. I was like, dude, I'm like fucking 18 in 2 weeks. He's like, oh, you're not 18 yet. Like, what the fuck is this goddamn imaginary line we all live by? It's the dumbest shit I ever fucking heard. But like, it's, oh man, yeah, that's just, oh man, we're not throwing enough young people in jail. You know what I mean?
It
so
ruins
now they got a
people's
fucking
lives.
reason to pull them over and look for weed and see if they've been drinking and fuck with their friends. It's horse shit. It's a horse shit fucking rule.
Yeah, cops suck, dude.
I can't believe that went through. They fucking reinstated the Patriot Act like in overwhelming numbers. And they passed a bill. Did you hear about this? Fucking Trump signing a fucking bill that said we're going to give Israel $38 billion over the next 10 years.
Damn.
Yeah, I fucking posted about it on my fucking Facebook page. Yeah. Because I'm not outspoken
Patriot Act
about...
isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Nowhere. I mean, especially now, probably more than ever. It's not just for ISIS. When the Patriot Act came out, it wasn't even ISIS back then. It was Al Qaeda.
It was Al Qaeda, the Taliban.
You know, now it's guys like you and me that they're after. You know, the tables have turned. Now it's white guys who go to church. If you're looking up, put them on the list. You just looked up a Bible verse and downloaded a Bible app.
You got to pay for that. God said you had to pay for that.
Oh man.
Well,
actually, it's getting close to 12. So I thought, even if we don't post this next week because of like the holidays and shit, it at least gives you some good. I feel like we had good content tonight.